Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. It feels weird being on camera again because I have taken a hiatus from social media, which has been really nice and really necessary and just really needed in this season. So I wanted to hop on here. This is going to be a shorter video. I just want to share some of the things that I've learned on this break. Reasons why I would advocate for anyone to take a social media break, because it has genuinely changed my perspective and my life on a lot of things. So I initially started out going for 2 weeks. When I got to the second week, which was Sunday of this week, this past Sunday, I realized I wanted to keep going. Saturday was technically my last day on the fast. Sunday was there and I could have gone on social media and I just wasn't ready, which really caught me off guard, but it really made me sit and reflect on why it was that my heart didn't feel ready to get back on. And that is always where the Lord shows up. I have quite the list on my phone of notes that I took as I was feeling different things throughout the social media fast. And so I'm just going to start there and then I'm going to jump into the things that I've learned. The first day was pretty easy. I Sabbath on Saturday. So the first day of my fast was a Saturday. It didn't feel any different than a typical Saturday would. On Saturdays, I don't work and I don't get on social media. So it didn't feel any different. But then day 2 came around and it also so happened to be Mother's Day, which if you follow and listen to my podcast, I already did an episode over that entirely. Mother's Day was a catastrophe. I had an emotional breakdown in a big church and it just wasn't pretty. So day 2 didn't really feel hard at all because I was already not in a good emotional place. And typically when I'm not in a good emotional place, I don't get on social media. That's a healthy thing to do. So day 1 and day 2 just felt normal. Day 3 was where it got a little weird. I found myself naturally trying to gravitate towards social media. I found myself wanting to open up social media apps, and it made me realize how many bad habits I actually have. Like, it is not normal to grab your phone and immediately go to social media when you don't know what to do with your time. I've never felt so productive as I have these last couple of weeks, which has just been so refreshing. So yeah, it definitely felt weird. There was like an adjustment period. The first week was really challenging. It was very tempting. I found myself naturally wanting to open up Instagram and YouTube, and I did have videos scheduled out, but if you guys saw those shorts going live, they were previously scheduled, so I was not on social media at all. That's the other thing, is it made me realize how much more present I could be in the moment if I stayed on top of scheduling out things. It's not healthy to be on social media 24/7, you guys. Like, no one can convince me. No one can convince me otherwise of that. As someone who has had this career, because that's what it is for me, as someone who has had this career for 10 years, it'll be 10 years this August, so like 9.5 going on 10, I cannot stress enough how important it is to take an intentional social media break. Whether it's for 3 days, whether it's for 3 weeks, whether it's for 3 months. I mean, that's not to say that I might not go off the grid for a month or so again. It was so refreshing and so nice. And what I can say is this will be a part of my regular every year. Like, every year I'm going to make myself take 2 breaks. And in those 2 breaks, I'm going to use it as time to reset and focus on my relationship with the Lord and hear from the Lord on where He wants me to go next. Because I've noticed that the Lord's voice feels the loudest to me when I'm my stillest, which again, I don't find coincidental in any capacity. When we are still, when we stop our busy life to silence ourselves and sit with the Lord, He's so faithful to speak. So that goes into my first point. First thing that changed was my relationship with the Lord. I just felt like His voice was so loud. I could hear Him every day. I just felt like I had so much peace on things I had prayed into. He gave me answers immediately, it felt like. And initially that's why I wanted to do this fast, because I wanted clarity on some things in my life. So that was a really beautiful thing. Number 2, I was more focused. It is insane to me how productive I felt in this 2.5 week, almost 3 week fast. There was no comparison games. There's no getting online to see all these things that everyone else is doing and getting distracted and going down wormholes. And speaking of wormholes, that leads me right into my third point, because I'm trying to keep this somewhat short. I was so at peace. You know, it's so easy on TikTok to go down rabbit holes of doom and gloom, of the world is ending. And I'm not here to say what my stance is on any of that, because I do believe that the Lord is coming soon, but we do not know the hour nor the day. No one knows the hour nor the day that is biblical, that is scriptural, that is in the Bible. So it's so easy to fall down those trap holes where all of a sudden you were having a great day and then you see a video that makes you fearful of these things in life, And all of a sudden you're living in a state of fear. You feel paralyzed, you feel fearful, you feel trapped. And that is not the Lord. So I realized how toxic TikTok can be. I realized how toxic social media can be, even Instagram. All of that to say, I had never felt so at peace. My anxiety levels were dropping, my stress levels were dropping, and it was just amazing. The next thing, Jordan and I had so much quality time, you guys. So much quality time. At one point, he looked over at me and he was like, babe, I'm really enjoying this social media fast. And it's not that I ignore him by any means, right? Like, my job is no different than any other, but the only thing about my job is it's hard to shut it off sometimes. And I'm so proud of myself. I have really gotten better about this over the years because I've learned the hard way. However, that's not to say that there's not days or nights where my work goes until 7 or 8 p.m. and I wish that wasn't the case. But when I work for myself, sometimes I don't start until later in the day because of meetings or this or that. And I have that flexibility, and that flexibility is beautiful. But there are definitely moments where I feel like I have to put time with my husband aside to finish my work, to hit deadlines, to reach goals. And it was just really nice to have a break from that. So if anything, it's taught me that I want to be more present once he gets home from work. So I'm going to try to move my schedule around to accommodate that. Mother's Day was tough. I'm not going to go into the details of that. I will leave that for my podcast. If you want to go listen to that episode that went live this week, you can click the link down in the description box below. A lot of emotions there, a lot to unpack, and I had Jordan on this episode to help me through it. The other little thing I started doing was I started doing press-on nails. I took my nails off for majority of the fast, had no nails, which was honestly a really nice reset. And then I got these press-on nails, and I think I'm in love. So I think I'm going to start going this route. They're really easy to apply. They're a little bit healthier on your nails, and also you can change them out as often as you want, which going to a nail salon is a whole process. I can't stand sitting still for an hour and a half. It literally drives me crazy. I'm just not someone that can sit there. So press-on nails, it is for me. And the last thing I realized was I was so bored. I felt so understimulated. I felt super uncreative some days. And so because of that, I started painting our guest bedroom. I've been wanting to do this project for quite some time. Finally got around to it with this, which has been really, really nice. I'm not quite done with it yet, but I got majority of the room painted by myself, white, 3 coats of paint on the walls, which is a lot when you're doing the ceiling too. So I'm super proud of myself for that. It's coming together beautifully. It's going to be very similar to the nursery, which is like a modern farmhousey vibe, but like not super farmhouse. Like, I like the more modern side. Yeah, I'm really excited for that to come together. There were also some just really big projects that Jordan and I have been discussing and working on in the background that are really exciting, really nerve-wracking, life-changing decisions. And it's been really fun to just dream together in this fast. I know the Lord wouldn't put desires on our heart if it wasn't His will for our life, so we trust that. We traveled a lot. We had to go to Kansas City. We went to San Antonio. And then we have a lot of travel coming up, which is really exciting. I said this was going to be a short video. It's already like 13 minutes long, at least on my camera. Once I edit, it'll probably be 10. So I want to keep this short and sweet because I know you guys also like the shorter videos. If you've ever thought about doing a social media fast or you feel encouraged to, I want to encourage you. If you feel like you need it, take it. Nothing's gonna happen. The world is not gonna end. It's really easy to feel like you might miss out, that FOMO, right? That fear of missing out on things. But trust me, you'll be so thankful you did. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping in on my channel, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.